Good morning, one and all. I, Swati Veligoti, Associate Professor of CSC Department, Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus.
Good morning to everyone. Myself CS Sushma, Associate Professor in CSC Department, Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus.
Welcome to the inaugural session of 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering 2020 Virtual Conference. I would like to invite Dr. M.V. Narayana, Convener, ICE CSC 2020 and Professor, CSC Department, Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus to give introductory speech.
Very good morning to ladies and gentlemen present here on this digital platform. On behalf of Guru Nanak Institutions, I, Dr. M. Venkat Narayana, Convener of the conference, welcome you all the 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering ICICSE 2020 in association with Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus and Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. It's my pleasure to walk you through the conference, welcoming the chief guests of honor, keynote speakers, webinar session speakers, our beloved chairman, vice chairman, managing director, principal, associate director, heads, and various delegates who are taking part in this conference from all over the world to share their vast experience and the knowledge that enhance to our mental horizon. The Department of Computer Science Engineering, Guru Nanak Institutions, has been organizing international conferences since 2013, thus making the best podium for the researchers, academicians, technocrats and industrialists to enhance their knowledge and share a difference of opinion on common platform. The conference has come a long way and has surpassed the various challenges that our society has faced over the years and has adapted to the changing technological trends in the industry. We are proud to announce that the chief guest of this conference is Mr. Srini Santhanam, Vice President, S2 Integrators LLC, Atlanta, Georgia, United States, with guests of honors Dr. A. Govardhan, Rector, prestigious JNTU Hyderabad, Dr. M. Manjur Hussain, Registrar, prestigious JNTU Hyderabad, Dr. Aninda Bose, Senior Editor, Springer India Private Limited, India, Dr. A.K. Nayak, Immediate Past President, CSI. Every year, we have a theme for the conference ranging from the technology to environment. This year, the conference holds special value because this is the first conference in the history of our organization where the entire conference is taking place on a digital platform. Due to the changing time caused by the COVID-19, we encourage all delegates and participants to stay safe and maintain social distancing at your locations, as a result of which this conference will be the first of many conferences in the future that will be conducted remotely through the use of advanced technology such as augmented reality and virtual reality. We have experts from across the field who will be communicating with us for the couple of days, sharing their thoughts, knowledge and opinions with the rest of us. We have eminent keynote speakers and webinar speakers from the field of academics and industry to cater to the need of technological advancement. Like every year, the conference hosts many papers in various domain areas from the authors who have signed up for this conference. The only difference in this conference is that the entire conference will be handled digitally, and we will be walking you through all the SIPs that the participants need to follow to have hassle-free and smooth event throughout the conference. The major outcomes that we expect from this conference is a national international framework for the ever-changing technology around the world and how it can be inclined with the needs of industry and society. Apart from the invitees from Google Meet, we have free access to live YouTube channel broadcasting of the inaugural event and webinars followed by sessions. The conference would not have been possible without the enthusiastic and hard work of all the coordinators and members of various committees. A conference of this size relies on the contributions of reviewers for their invaluable help in the review process. We are also grateful to all the authors who trusted the conference with their work. My wholehearted thanks from the bottom of my heart to the chief guest and guest of honors for the conference. My special thanks to keynote speakers, webinar speakers and panel members of the technical sessions. We look forward to an exciting virtual online conference with insightful presentations, discussions and sharing of technical ideas with teaching fraternity, researchers and technocrats from around the world. We thank you for taking part in the conference and hope you enjoy the same feel as that of an offline one. Last but not least, I would like to thank the management for giving me the opportunity of being a part of this prestigious conference ICICSC 2020. I would like to conclude my speech by encouraging the delegates to participate with an increasing number in all the sessions and discussions through the digital platforms provided in both the days. I wish everyone a successful, safe and fruitful conference. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your introductory speech. I invite Dr. Jayanti, convener ICICSC 2020 and professor, to introduce our virtual conference co-chair and associate director Dr. Rishi Sari.
It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce the co-chair and associate director of Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus, Dr. Rishi Sari, who is a silent but sound in making strategic decisions. He has played a pivotal role in launching of this outstanding event. His extensive experience and instrumental guidance has made ICICSC as one of the flagship and best respected conferences in the fields of computer science and engineering. He has completed his PhD in computer science and engineering in Mysore University of Karnataka. His praiseworthy experience on research, innovation and publications has given us a touch to step up gallantly even at this unprecedented global crisis time. Now, I invite our respected co-chair and associate director of Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus, Dr. Rishi Sari, to address the virtual gathering with a brief report of ICICSC 2020.
Good morning, one and all. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Srini Santanam, Vice President, S2 Integrated LLC, Atlanta, United States. Guest of Honor, Professor A.K. Nayak, Immediate Past President, Computer Society of India. Guest of Honor, Dr. A. Govardhan, Professor and Rector, JNTU, Hyderabad. Guest of Honor, Mr. Ananda Bose, Senior Editor, Springer India Private Limited. I wholeheartedly welcome you all, our Chief Guests and Guest of Honors, and sincerely thank for taking part in the inaugural ceremony of Virtual 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering. We are highly honored with your gracious presence in this conference, sir. I would like to welcome the eminent keynote speakers, Dr. Sujala Deepak Shetty, Professor British Pilani, Dubai Campus, Dubai. Dr. G. Shanmugam, Professor and Cisco Certified Ethical Hacker, Presidency University, Bangalore, India. Mr. Kiran Naidu, Data Scientist, AW Rostamani, Dubai. And Dr. B. Satish Kumar, Professor, JNTU, Hyderabad, India. As the current global pandemic has created enormous challenges and tremendous impact in the life of each one of us, ICICI decided to go online for the first time from August 28th to 29th. And after much thought and careful deliberations and consideration, ICICI 2020 has been pivoted from the on-site event to online virtual event for the first time. This virtual conference will feature an excellent lineup of interactive keynote and webinar sessions and peer-reviewed paper presentations with exceptionally networking in new visual environment. I hope this conference will be a vibrant platform for accelerating the pace and improving the quality of research and innovation in the field of computer science and engineering. Guru Nanak Institution is proud to conduct a series of conferences every year and in each department with the objective of serving the need of researchers and academicians around the globe. ICICI is one of our flagship and the best respected conference in the field of computer science and engineering. It aims to hub together academicians, research scholars, and delegates from industries to accelerate and explore their innovative ideas in the fields of computer science and engineering, and hence to foster research relations between academicians and industry. With the feat from the past 7 international conferences successfully conducted, the reputation of ICICI 2020 is growing every year, and now it has invited papers from 1,200 authors around the globe and 400 participants around the globe. With more specifically, it's my proud privilege to say that we have received more than 60 papers from 16 different countries such as Bangladesh, United Kingdom, Tanzania, Korea, Ethiopia, Iraq, Iran, Japan, Myanmar, United Arab Emirates, United States, Bahrain, Philippines, Germany, Oman, and Malaysia. At this momentous occasion, I would like to convey my hearty thanks to Springer Nature for their continuous support in publishing our proceedings in Scoopers Index LNS series. And I assure you that, sir, quality and reputation of this event will be growing in upward surge every year. At this private moment, I would like to convey that the selected and the presented papers of this conference will be published in 5 different proceedings, which include one Scoopers Index LNS Springer series, 2 issues of Journal of Innovation in Computer Science and Engineering, 2 issues of Journal of Innovation in Information Technology, and most important, we are also releasing a souvenir of Springer series as a member to carry with the participants. The statistics of the papers which we have received, I would like to mention here. Number of papers received 360, number of papers accepted in Springer LNS series 84, number of papers accepted in JICSE 20, number of papers accepted and published in JIT 18. Acceptance rate was around 32%. This conference features 2 keynote sessions, 2 webinar sessions, and 6 technical sessions on both the days. And in fact, there are 4 sessions for Springer exclusively and 2 special sessions for the authors from Journals of Innovation in Computer Science and Journal of Innovation in IT. These sessions are chaired and co-chaired by very prominent professors and doctorates. Some of the details of these sessions of keynote speakers are worth mentioning. On day 1, Dr. Sujala Deepak Shetty, Professor BITS Pilani, Dubai campus, he will be putting up a session on advancement in field of artificial intelligence. He is from Dubai campus, BITS Pilani. And on same day, session 2, Kiran Naidu will be handling data science case studies. He is a data scientist from Dubai. It's a live webinar session. Again on day 2, there are keynote speakers and webinar speakers. Dr. G. Shanmugrathinam, his topic is on cyber security. He is a professor and Cisco certified ethical hacker, Presidency University, Bangalore. And there is a live webinar session again on day 2 by Dr. B. Satish Kumar. The topic will be on advanced machine learning techniques. He is a professor from JNTU, Hyderabad. On this auspicious occasion, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to AICT for contributing 50,000 as a grant amount for launching this conference. It's my privilege to thank Computer Society of India for their strong association and unwavering support at all our prominent occasions. It's our honor to have this association support from CSI. And in particular, I would like to thank Dr. D.D. Sharma sir, who was very kind enough to support and give us all the wavering support from CSI throughout the conference. At this proud moment, I would like to commend the unparalleled support and services of the review board members, the eminent professors from various universities and institutions around the globe who have done 3 rounds of meticulous review process. In the first round, the papers submitted by the authors have been assessed on the basis of their technical suitability, scope of work, and plagiarism. In the second round, the papers have been screened on the basis of their scope of work, their originality, their novelty, their clarity, completeness. The third round was based on the revision of the papers which have been revised by the authors and resubmitted, and then were very original and very novel in nature. It's our honor and duty to express artful thanks to our review board members for upholding the highest possible standards of the quality of our conference. At this juncture, I would like to acknowledge the major partnership support of our mighty supports, NGOs, government agencies, and industries. Eventually, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Chief Patron, Chairman Sir Sardar Tavinder Singh Kohli ji, Chairman Guru Nanak Institution, a great legend of wisdom whose unwavering moral support will always lead a better path towards the success. The patron of the conference and our Vice Chairman, Sir Sardar Gagandeep Singh Kohli ji, Conference Chair, whose continuous support and encouragement has continuously boosted us in excelling in all our endeavors. Our Managing Director, Dr. H.S. Saini Sir, who is the pilot for the successful launching of this virtual conference and continued growth of Guru Nanak Institutions, thanks a lot to all of us, sir. At this moment, I would like to thank our director, Dr. M. Ramling Reddy, Dr. Srinath Reddy, Principal, JNIT, who has played a pivotal role in organizing this grand event. I acknowledge the ceaseless efforts and contribution received from the head of the departments of CSE and IT, faculty, staff members, co-conveners and conveners for the execution of this conference. It gives me immense pleasure to thank the scholar, people, scientists, technocrats, academician, research scholars from various organizations such as DRDO, IIT Jodhpur, IIT Bhubaneswar, IIT Jammu, IIT Kharagpur, NIT Bhopal, NIT Jalandhar, NIT Kurukshetra, NIT Hamirpur, BITS Pilani Ranchi, BITS Pilani Hyderabad, BITS Pilani Dubai campus, JNTU Hyderabad, JNTU Anantapur, Karuna University Tamil Nadu, VIT Tamil Nadu, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda, KL University, Amritsar University, West Bengal University of Technology, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, JP University of Information Technology, to name a few, whose papers were very research, very innovative enough. Some of the papers from abroad worth mentioning are University College of Bahrain, BITS Pilani, Dubai campus, University of Santo Tomas, Philippines, Seoul Media Institute of Technology, Korea, University of Texas at Dallas, Daffodil International University, Noakhil Science and Technology University, Khulna University of Engineering Technology, Feni University, UKM University, Dhaka University of Engineering and Technology, Jahangirnagar University, Asian University of Bangladesh, Nottingham Trent University of UK and many more places across the globe, whose research papers in this conference have given a real meaning and success to the international forum. At this technological event, which is basically very innovative in nature, I am confident that this conference will bestow innovative thoughts on the participant to confront the technological revolution and challenges of today's modern era. I would like to applaud the organizing team of ICSE 20 who remain committed to fulfill our mission of fostering scientific exchange and learning and plan to conduct the ICSE 20 virtually, without which this virtual conference would not have been successful and a reality. With warm regards once again, I welcome you all in the present galaxy of the 8th International Conference on Innovation in Computer Science and Engineering ICSE 20. I wish you all a very successful conference with an enriching personal and professional experience. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful report of ICECSE 2020. Now, I take the opportunity to introduce the patron of the conference, Sardar Gagandeep Singh Kohli, Vice Chairman of Guru Nanak Institutions, who is a born leader, eminent entrepreneur and successful educationalist. He works on the strong principle, believe, achieve and succeed, and is the only key for his success. He has contributed his might to uphold the vision of his father, Sardar Tavinder Singh Kohli, founder and chairman of Guru Nanak Institutions, for integrating the youth to excel in the fields of engineering, dentistry, management and pharmacy. He is an exceptionally talented, creative and intellectual person with wide perspective and a vision to make all his endeavors as the best in the country. He holds a master's degree in business management from Queen Mary and Westfield College of London. Sir, your continuous motivation and constant encouragement charge up us to discharge our duties more dedicatedly. Now, I request your good self to address the virtual gathering, sir.
Hello all, Namaskar. I am Gagandeep Singh Kohli from Guru Nanak Institutions. At the outset, I would like to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference being held by the Department of Computer Science and the Department of Information Technology at Guru Nanak Institutions. I hope you all are doing well, staying home and staying safe. I pray the Almighty that this pandemic ends soon and we all come back to our normal lives. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Department of Computer Science Engineering for having organized this conference. I would like to welcome our chief guests of honors and senior professors from of the academia for having been present here and helping us with the conference. A very warm welcome to all the participants from across the globe who have come in and are being present online today. It's very unfortunate that all of us are not being able to be present in together in an auditorium, so we all have to meet online. But this should not stop us, and the good work should always keep on moving. I'm also happy to share the progress of the conference, the way it has gone, with about having received 400 plus papers and having selected only about 84 papers in the conference journal. So this shows the strength of the conference and the academic activities happening at Guru Nanak institutions. So with this, I welcome you all once again to the virtual conference and wish you all the very best, and thank you all for being with us available online today. Thank you all once again. Namaskar.
Thanks for your inspirational speech, sir. Now, I take this opportunity to introduce the conference chair and managing director of Guru Nanak Institutions, Dr. H.S. Saini, who is the pilot for the successful hosting of this virtual conference and continued growth of Guru Nanak Institutions. His unflinching passion on education and innovation has made us to stand as an exemplary institution in launching startups, industry academia collaborations, foreign university collaborations, and centers of excellence in cutting-edge technologies. He obtained his PhD in computer science from Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya University. He has done 2 master's degrees in computer science and mathematics. He received the Punjab State Merit Scholarship and Best Student Award at college and university level. He is the founder and chief editor of 4 reputed international journals, namely Journal of Innovation in Computer Sciences, Journal of Innovation in Electronics, Journal of Innovation in Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Journal of Innovation in Information Technology. Sir, your wide wisdom and charismatic leadership radiates positive vibes and energy on us to succeed in our path. Now, I request your good self to address the virtual gathering and for releasing the souvenir of Springer's Focus Indexed Learner Series and JCSC Journal, Volume 9, Issue 2, JCSC Journal, Volume 10, Issue 1, JIT Journal, Volume 4, Issue 1 and 2.
A very good morning, Honorable Vice Chairman Sri G.S. Kohli, Mr. Srini Santanam, Vice President S2 Integrators LLC, Atlanta, Georgia, United States, Dr. A. Govardhan, Professor and Director, JNTU Hyderabad, Dr. Manzoor Hussain, Professor and Director, Professor and Registrar, JNTU Hyderabad, Mr. Aninda Bose, Senior Editor, Springer India Limited, Dr. D.D. Sharma, Fellow CSI, recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award. I welcome all the dignitaries to this international conference, ICICSE 2020. I really thank you all for your time and for your valuable messages for this conference. I also welcome the conference delegates. I welcome my faculty colleagues, director, principal, HODs. I welcome them all to this conference. Friends, this international event which we organize every year is like a festival for all of us. But COVID-19 has given us a huge challenge, and especially for the team of organizers. My team of organizers had been working day and night for last more than 2 months. They collected all the papers, reviewed them, segregated them to various volumes, and they have brought out 2 issues of this journal, Journal of Innovation in Computer Science Engineering, Volume 9, Issue 2, and Volume 10, Issue 1. Also, Volume 4, Issue 1 of Journal of Information Technology, and Volume 4, Issue 2 of Journal of Information Technology. Both these journals are highly reputed and these are international journals. In addition to this, our team of organizers have produced this quality souvenir for this conference. They have tirelessly worked to arrange the reviews of all the papers, do the justice with all the papers which I have received, and more than 80 papers have been reviewed and sent to the Springer. I am sure now the duty is with Mr. Ninda Bose to take the further action for publishing. Also, I must say, in this situation of COVID, coordination with all the resource persons, with the right from the chief guest to the guests of honor, also with the delegates, arranging their presentations in sequence had been a great task for all of them. So I really appreciate the teamwork and the leadership which has been shown by Dr. Rishi Syal to bring this conference to this present level. I'm sure these 2 days are going to be a great opportunity for all of us to learn the new things. It is a great opportunity for all the presenters and the delegates to present their papers. It is going to be a great opportunity for the students to learn a lot of new ideas, technologies, new topics. And of course, with the challenge only we can learn and we can improve our strength. These challenges make us more stronger and stronger. So team has become more strong by organizing this conference through the social media. So I again thank the management of Guru Nanak Institution for extending all the facilities, providing all the facilities. I thank the Dr. Ramalinga Reddy and his team for providing the resources, for supporting this international event. I thank Dr. Rishi Syal for putting in his hard work and spending his days and nights tirelessly for this conference. I thank all the organizers, and finally I wish all of them a very good luck. I am sure this conference is going to be a grand success. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your inspirational speech, sir.
It's my proud privilege to invite Conference Co-Chair and Director Dr. M. Ramalinga Reddy, Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus. He graduated in Mechanical Engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad. He obtained doctoral degree from Osmania University, Hyderabad in 2009 and FIE from Indian Institute of Engineers, Kolkata in 2011. He started his career as Technical Airman in Indian Air Force from March 1980 to August 1995. With his aptitude in administration, he had rendered his services as principal in various educational institutions. He published many papers in international and national journals. He guided many BTech and MTech projects. Now I request Dr. M. Ramalinga Reddy to address the virtual gathering.
We are pleased to inform that Guru Nanak Institutions is going to organize a virtual conference, international conference on innovations in computer science and engineering on 28th and 29th of this month. It has been a culture and tradition for all of us here to organize the international conference every year and by every department. However, because of the pandemic conditions, conducting the conference is seen to be a very difficult affair. However, the very pandemic conditions have not deterred us to conduct this particular conference. Therefore, we conceptualized the very concept of e-conference, that is virtual conference on innovations in computer science and engineering. A great deal of effort has gone into organizing this virtual conference by the departments of computer science and IT, by both the colleges of Guru Nanak institutions, that is Guru Nanak Institute of Technology and Guru Nanak Institution's Technical Campus. And I have complete appreciation for the entire team which led this particular event to materialize in a way which is supposed to be. I therefore congratulate them for having conceptualized, organizing this particular event, and I wish the entire team a very good luck and best wishes for this event.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable message.
Now I invite Dr. S. Srinath Reddy, Principal GNIT and Conference Co-Chair, ICI CSC 2020. He obtained MTech in Heat Power, Refrigerator and Air Conditioning from JNTU Hyderabad and PhD in Mechanical Engineering from JNTU Anantapur. He guided many projects. Now I request Dr. S. Srinath Reddy address the virtual gathering.
Welcome to you all for ICA CSC 2020. On behalf of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology and on behalf of the organizing committee, I delighted to welcome today's our guest of honors, Vice Chairman of GNI, Sardar G.S. Kohli Garu, our Managing Director, Dr. H.S. Saini Garu, the Director of GNITC, Dr. M. Ramlinga Reddy Garu, our Conference Co-Chair, Dr. Rishi Sai, Associate Director, and the conveners for this conference, co-conveners, coordinators and co-coordinators, the faculty members and students of GNI, and all the participants and delegates from various parts of the country and as well as from abroad. And ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you all for this ICI CSC 2020 inaugural function. It gives me an immense pleasure to launch the 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering, that is ICI CSC 2020, in an online platform. This conference is moved from physical conference to virtual conference to embrace the creativity and innovation amidst COVID crisis. ICI CSC 2020 aims to provide a platform for the scientists, scholars, engineers and students all around the world and the industry to project ongoing research activities and hence to foster research relations between academia and the industry. It feathers world-class presentations by internationally renowned speakers in keynote sessions and webinar sessions, cutting-edge session topics, peer-reviewed presentations, and provide a fantastic opportunity to network with like-minded professionals from around the world. I applaud the support, patience, and kindness extended by invited speakers, authors, and attendees despite the current crisis situation. I commend the collective resilience and dedication of the organizing committee and technical committee to foregoing connection without boundaries and fostering this virtual conference innovatively for the first time. I wish ICI CSC 2020 good luck for the grand success of this event. Thank you to all.
Thanks for the inspiring speech, sir.
I take pleasure to invite Dr. D.D. Sharma, Senior Fellow CSI, recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award, CSI Council Member, Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences. He is recipient of Bharat Vidya Shiromani Award and a Certificate of Education Excellence for Outstanding Achievements in the field of education given by International Institute of Education and Management in December 2014 at New Delhi, and Glory of Education of Excellence Award issued by IIEM in March 2015 at New Delhi. I request Dr. D.D. Sharma to inspire with his speech.
Good morning to every one of you, distinguished academicians, faculty members, and dear students. I am happy to be associated with this 8th International Conference on the theme of Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering. In view of the prevailing pandemic, Guru Nanak institutions have chosen to organize this seminar on a virtual platform. I congratulate Dr. Rishi Sai and his team members for their efforts. This conference includes areas such as big data, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, security and cryptography, and many more. As you all know, the reputation of an educational institution depends on the commitment of the staff, the availability of infrastructure, and the students. Placements depend on these. Over the years, Guru Nanak institutions earned their name as an academic institution of repute, and the credit goes to the staff and management. However, they should go far above to meet the competitive challenges from other educational institutions. New courses such as biotechnology and which are socially relevant should also be started. On this occasion, I may say that cybersecurity is one of the most challenging areas where a lot of research work has been done and is being done. Government of India is planning to come out very soon with a policy on cybersecurity. As we know, cybersecurity refers to the tools, practices, approaches, and safeguards to protect information assets. I repeat, information assets. Inadequately protected and information technology infrastructure provides immense opportunities for mischief mongers as well as dedicated hardened criminals, state actors, and terrorists. Cyber attacks are global and cybersecurity risks are universal. Satellites, power grids, thermal power plants, websites, banks, and almost all systems attempt to be global on prone to cyber attacks. Today, netizens are under great stress due to words in currency such as disrupt, destroy, damage, and down. The core issue is cyber security. Today's hackers are very, very intelligent and ahead of time and proactive, while the people responsible, namely systems and R&D personnel, are not that fast, to tell you the truth. Some of the issues and problems needing attention of global community researchers are create social networks functioning on issues of security and privacy with an emphasis on malware detection, create manpower with better qualifications and skills on cyber security matters through private-public partnership, create protocols for creating increased awareness. More than these, human values, ethical behavior are extremely important. This is the challenge before all of us and the new age cyber R&D community.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us very much.
Now I invite today's guest of honor, Mr. Aninda Bose, Senior Editor, Springer India Private Limited. Aninda Bose is presently working as a Senior Publishing Editor with Springer Nature. Mr. Bose is part of Global Acquisition Team at Springer Nature and responsible for acquisition of scientific content across the globe. He is responsible for acquisition of content in interdisciplinary applied sciences. He has more than 25 years of industrial experience in marketing and different fields of publishing. Mr. Bose has completed Masters in Organic Chemistry from Delhi University and Masters in Marketing Research from Symbionts Institute of Management Studies, Pune. Mr. Bose has delivered more than 110 talks on scientific writing and publishing ethics in reputed universities, international conferences and author workshops. He has published books for secondary level in chemistry and is a member of American Chemical Society, USA. Now I request Mr. Aninda Bose to inspire us with his speech.
Good morning, friends. First, I would like to thank the organizing team of ICICSE 2020 for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to talk to you all. It is a challenging time for everyone and exceptional situation for conference organizers. It is a very difficult time. We are in the middle of a pandemic and conducting a conference in this situation is very, very difficult. It is not only difficult for conference organizers, it is also difficult for authors because conference is a perfect forum for network, for sharing knowledge, for discussions, and it is very difficult in this situation to have these kind of discussions which we usually have in physical conferences. And online there are different challenges, but I think we will be able to overcome this and I really feel that we will be having this trend will be there for a couple of more months, or rather even a year, and people will be moving from this hybrid mode to the hybrid mode, like doing conferences in both the forms, online as well as physical version. A couple of months back, I was actually supposed to give a presentation on challenges of COVID, and I came out with a terminology. It says COVID, and it says challenges of virtual interaction and discourse, because I think it has opened many doors to discovery, but at the same time, it has created a lot of challenges. We are facing challenges every day, and but I still feel that as a mankind has always come out of this challenge as well, and we will be able to overcome this situation also. My best wishes to the conference team for conducting this conference, and my congratulations to all the authors for their good work, and I feel that they will learn something from their presentation over here, as well as with the short network which they will be able to do during this conference. Thank you all, thanks a lot, and best wishes to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for motivational and inspirational speech.
I feel proud to invite today's guest of honor, Dr. A.K. Nayak, Professor, Fellow and President, Computer Society of India, Director, Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna, Chairman, Indian Society for Technical Education, Bihar, Jharkhand. I request Dr. A.K. Nayak to motivate us with his speech. Thank you, sir, for your motivational speech.
I invite today's guest of honor, Dr. A. Govardhan, Professor and Rector, JNTU-H. He is presently a Professor of Computer Science and Engineering, Rector and Executive Council Member, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad. He served and held several academic and administrative positions. He is the recipient of 33 international and national awards, including Best Senior Scientist Award in 2018, Divang Mehta Academic Leadership Award 2017, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan National Award, AP State Government Best Teacher Award in 2012, and Pride of Asia International Award, Best Principal, and Bharat Seva Ratna Puraskar, Bharat Jyoti Award, International Intellectual Development Award, and Mother Teresa Award for outstanding services, achievements, contributions, and outstanding performances and remarkable role in the field of education and service to the nation. Now I request Dr. A. Govardhan to motivate us with his speech.
Distinguished dignitaries and guests of the program of this 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering, ICICSE 2020, being organized as a virtual conference by Guru Nanak University in collaboration with Guru Nanak Institutions Technical Campus and Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Chief guest of today's program, Mr. Srini Santhanam, Vice President at S2 Integrators LLC, Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Guest of honor and my esteemed colleague, Professor M. Manzoor Hussain, Registrar, JNTU, Hyderabad. Guest of honor, Dr. A.K. Nayak, immediate past President, Computer Society of India. Guest of honor, Mr. Anindya Bose, Senior Editor, Springer India Private Limited, India. Dr. D.D. Sharma, Fellow, Computer Society of India, recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award, Computer Society of India, and Fellow of AP and Telangana Academy of Sciences. Vice Chairman and Conference Patron, Mr. Gagandeep Singh Kohli. Managing Director and Conference Chair, Dr. H.S. Saini. Director and Conference Co-Chair, Dr. M. Ramalinga Reddy. Associate Director and Co-Chair, Dr. Rishi Sayal. Principal and Conference Co-Chair, Dr. S. Srinath Reddy. Distinguished invitees, eminent speakers, illustrious members of international and national advisory boards of the conference, session chairs, chairs and co-chairs of various committees, conveners and co-conveners of the conference, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It's indeed a pleasant occasion. It gives me immense pleasure in associating with this international conference. Despite the serendipity stroke of COVID-19 pandemic, we are interacting through this online mode. I'm extremely happy to see that the Guru Nanak Institutions has been organizing this international conference on innovations in computer science and engineering in the series, and this is the 8th international conference in the series. I am extremely happy, and my heartfelt compliments and congratulations to the entire team of Guru Nanak Institutions, and also my compliments to the entire team of Guru Nanak University. As you all know, the technology has been growing and also taking a different dimensions and moving through different paradigms in the context of Industry 4.0, Education 4.0, and particularly in the recent context of National Education Policy 2020. And there is a complete paradigm shift that is taking place in the teaching learning processes, in the way we do our research, that the way we connect to the industry and all the stakeholders, and they trying to build the entire ecosystem to see that we do the quality research, fruitful research, and we convert our research in terms of the product-based research. Ultimately, we try to provide the low-cost and cost-effective solutions to the deserving people and deserving industry and systems. And this is where the wonderful topic has been identified to see that the demand-based and where the relevance to the society is required. So that way the topics have been identified, including the data science, AI, machine learning, AR, VR, cloud computing, and brain computing. Then you also see the security, cryptography, bioinformatics, and wireless and sensor networks and things like that. So this would definitely motivate and inspire the young researchers to concentrate on these topics and to continue their research and see that they produce quality research through the benchmarking research prototypes, and they would also stand as an example in terms of doing the best research, not only from the Indian perspective but also from the global perspectives.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech.
I take pleasure to invite today's guest of honor, Dr. M. Manzoor Hussain, Registrar, JNTU-H. He specialized in production engineering. His research interests include production engineering, engineering mechanics, CAD, CAM, and computing techniques, PLM and PDM. He received Best Teacher Award in 2017 and Meritorious Teachers in the year 2016 from Telangana Government Higher Education Department. He is founder principal of JNTU-H College of Engineering, Sultanpur. I request Dr. M. Manzoor Hussain to share his valuable message.
Guru Nanak Institutions Technical Campus is conducting 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering. Guru Nanak Institutions always they go for very good platforms created for the researchers, scholars to share the latest innovations among the faculty members at different levels, and the college is always see that in academics and in academic activities always it make the headway and state of the art technology they maintain in their campus. I wish the entire management and the executing team of this international conference, and I wish them all the best. This will be a good platform for all the researchers, scholars to share their ideas. I request all the participants to make use of this 2-day international conference and see that it will be benefiting all the candidates working in the area of research and innovations. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable message.
It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Srini Santhanam, Vice President, Yes2 Integrators LLC, who is a vibrant and inspiring role model for the youth to excel in their career. Let us have a glimpse into the journey of his successful career. Currently, Mr. Srini Santhanam occupies a key role as Vice President in Yes2 Integrators LLC, which spread over Atlanta, Georgia and United States. He is a co-founder of several consulting firms, including Yes2 Integrators LLC, Mytech US LLC. He also has occupied strategic leadership positions in the global Big 5 consulting companies, led large teams and business transformations. He has played several key roles for the CPG company, including delivery lead and solution architect. He has managed the overall program global delivery for the life science company in the areas of finance, business intelligence, robotics process automation and artificial intelligence as part of the larger IT transformation programs. He has managed large portfolio with more than $120 million in revenue and 750 plus team across North America. He is a thought leader, futurist, evangelist and advisors for many Fortune 500 and startup companies, and he is having more than 22 years of IT experience. Now, I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Srini Santhanam, to address the virtual gathering.
Hello all, good morning. I'm glad to meet you all virtually for this 8th International Conference on Innovation in Computer Science and Engineering. I'm really glad to meet you all for this conference. I am Srini Santhanam. I am co-founder of Yes2 Integrators. I came from the IT background, almost 25 years in the IT area, played various roles, being an innovation area and also like being an entrepreneur, leveraged in several technologies, AI, ERP, SAP is one of my core primary specialization. I came from a lot of different areas. I would like to share some of these things going on. How technology is contributing the pandemic challenge now. The world is having so many problems now, but technology is contributing a lot. We just want to highlight a few areas there. The first thing is on the organization side, how the enterprise are moving towards and adopting this change in this recent change. One of them being like, I can give examples like companies like Google, Facebook, how they quickly, like IBM, how they quickly transformed themselves into this pandemic situation. The Google, if you see, they changed the culture, adopting like more work from home and like changes in the procedures and policies, and make sure everybody can work remotely. They created a large pool of network so that everybody connected through internet. They don't need to be like coming into office. This really helped them, Google, into saving their infrastructure costs, their administration, their including like their operations, their buildings, their assets. It helped a lot for them, saving that operational cost. When I take into the Facebook, they announced the next few years for remote culture. They completely want to try out the remote thing. The productivity rate also increased with the latest trend. People start realizing, appreciating the effort of being remote. When you see IBM or like TCS in India, there is a bunch of team they rolling up and testing in the pilot mode of this virtual culture, because most of the programs they run through like some sort of offshore projects, which helps them like easily like supporting from any location. They never used to have they used to have a lot of cyber security challenges and all. With the latest softwares and adoptions, they able to make kind of recommendations there. So that's what I see. Enterprises moving towards the new change, new trend now. When you see enterprises, they are into touchless transaction. When you say restaurant, it never used to be everything through mobile. You can order. You don't need to go and get anything from the restaurant. They deliver to you. It all coming to the door to you. Rather, you go and hunt with them. That kind of cultural changes happen now. And then when you say touchless transaction, the automation became a key thing in the enterprises now. Every company going digitization, adaptation of cloud, artificial intelligence, robotics process automation. They want to keep having the repetitions, anything done. They are investing into the new technologies so that they can have their business run seamless, do not need to be coming similar challenges and all. Even companies like Amazon now, they're prototyping drones going to deliver the mails or deliveries. Everything is going to come through drone now. So that kind of patterns change now. That is going on. With respect to the enterprises, even they are going one level now above. They are going preventive maintenance is one of the key thing in the manufacturing industry. When you want to any machine challenges and all happens, earlier you do the fixation after the fact, but now they start doing before breakdown through sensors. You can have all those analysis done, the IoT integration. You can make the things happen seamlessly on the through these technologies. The next part, what I see here, in addition to the technologies, the RPA, everything, even cultural aspects, they become simple now. Earlier, it used to be lot complex. People take severe challenges on all these logistics challenges. Now you don't need to. The classes, the dance classes, the even the sports activities, everything happening through remote now. There were a lot of great apps which you can measure how you performing and compare and give the results. Even the gamification became a good challenge now. The changes are happening, cultural aspect too. When it comes to the environment side, people getting lot differences now with this kind of remote adaptation. We never seen New Delhi's pollution levels. It used to be almost 2.5 percentage impact, the PM impact there in the New Delhi. Now it got 71% pollution reduction happened. The industries are changing, kind of New York, New Jersey and all, very busy area. The traffic changes and the climate changes, really it's helping controlling the pollution there. That's what, as a next generation, I would recommend you all start adopting the change, the cultural change, the climate change, and the new threats happening corona. These diseases, we can overcome these things. My recommendation is start adapting with the new change, even the technology or whatever things because there were various new challenges we're going to face here. We need to quickly move on to next level and take a step back and rethink what you're doing, and we can able to do a much better way. Thank you all for the opportunity, this exciting opportunity. I'm really looking forward to meet you all next year in person live event and have a great conference. Hopefully you will enjoy next 2 days. Thank you all. It's great meeting you again virtually. Really you're going to have a fantastic conference. Thank you.
Thanks for the inspiring speech, sir. I request Dr. S. Madhu, Convener ICACSC 2020 and Professor GNITC to propose vote of thanks.
A warm and graceful morning to our most valued Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Srini Santanam, Guest of Honors, GNI Management, supporting and sponsoring organizations, authors of papers, research scholars, worthy faculty, parents, my dear friends, and everyone gathered here. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks speech and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering 2K20. I, Dr. S. Madhu, Professor in CSC and Convener of ICI CSC 2020, on behalf of Guru Nanak Institutions and ICI CSC 2020 Committee and the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success in pandemic, where conducting online virtual events was Herculean task. With His blessings and grace, we are able to make this event what it is now. I extend our heartfelt thanks to Chairman of GNI, respected Sir Sardar Tavinder Singh Kohli and Chief Patron ICI CSC 2020 for giving permission and support to organize this conference in all possible way to make it reach to this level of successful virtual conduction. I extend our heartfelt thanks to Vice Chairman of GNI, respected Sir Sardar Gagandeep Singh Kohli and Chief Patron ICI CSC 2020 for giving permission, support and encouragement to organize this virtual conference and encouraging us in every aspect of execution, making it success. I extend heartily sincere thanks to respected young and dynamic Managing Director of GNI, Dr. H.S. Saini Sir and Conference Chair, ICSC 2020 for giving your support, encouragement and novel ideas to organize this virtual conference in all options and approvals for putting off the current show in successful way. I extend our sincere thanks to Springer Publication and Senior Editor, respected Mr. Ananda Bose, ICI CSC 2020 for giving permission to publish ICI CSC 2020 papers in Springer LLN series 13 Super Index Journal. I heartily thanks to sponsoring organizations like CSI and AICT for their support for virtual conference 2020. We look forward for more such cooperation, coordination and supporting from such prestigious organizations. On behalf of organizing team of GNI and management, I put off heartily thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Srini Santanam from Australia, USA, who spent time from his busy schedule to enlighten us with his speech and grace this occasion as Chief Guest. We are honored as our authors and participants could hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future conferences. Big thanks to respected Sri J.S. Ranjan, JNTVC, for his message and wishes for success of virtual conference 2020. I extend my sincere thanks to guest of honor Dr. A. Govardhan Sir, Rector JTH and Editor of JICSC, JIIT Springer Series of ICI CSC 2020, who spent time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion with his best wishes and inspirational speech and message. It's my earnest thanks to respected Dr. M. Manzoor Hussain, JNTH Registrar, who spent time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion with his good wishes and his message for the virtual conference 2020. It's my privilege to convey big thanks to respected Director Dr. Ramalinga Reddy, GNITC and Conference Co-Chair ICI CSC 2020 for his support, encouragement and providing facility to organize this virtual conference. Further, a very big thanks to respected Principal Dr. S. Srinath Reddy, GNIT and Conference Co-Chair ICI CSC 2020 for his support, encouragement and provide facility to organize this virtual conference. Extend very special thanks to our respected Associate Director Dr. Rishi Sayal, GNITC and Conference Co-Chair ICI CSC 2020 for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as a pillar of strength for organizing virtual conference in very successful way. In this hard time of pandemic, our virtual conference fruitful meetings will be remembered as memories. Extend my sincere thanks to respected D.D. Sharma, Senior Fellow CSI, recipient LTA, CSI Council Member, AP Academy of Science for continuous support, his message and best wishes for the virtual conference 2020. Our chief support from CSI is definitely feather on the cap. A heartily sincere thanks to respected Professor A.K. Naik, IPP CSC for his message and best wishes for the virtual conference 2020. I extend my sincere thanks to International Advisory Board members Dr. Abdul Razak Bits Pilani, Dubai Campus and Dr. Akshay Kumar Saha, Professor, University of Natal, Durban, South Africa for their most valuable advice for the virtual conference 2020. We thanks our loving head of the departments of CSC and IT from GNITC and GNIT and conveners of ICI CSC 2020 for their support to organize this virtual conference 2020. Big thanks to conveners ICI CSC 2020, Dr. M.V. Narayana and Dr. H. Jayanti for their continuous effort from the inception of ICI CSC 2020. A sincere thanks to all the authors for their paper contribution ICI CSC 2020. I am immensely thankful to Mrs. V. Swati and Mrs. C.H. Sushma for their efforts towards anchoring of the day. A special thanks and without whom this event in this hard time would not have happened in our team. Need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation. I also extend thanks to all the staff members for their enormous cooperation within the organization of Virtual Conference 2020. Big thanks to all dedicated staff. An event like this cannot happen overnight. This field starts rolling months ago. It required planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very proactive and dedicated staff of our institution who are well versed in their job for grand success of Virtual Conference 2020. I would also like to convey heartily thanks to technical team led by the head IT services who worked behind the scene to make this event happen for providing technical support. Finally, I would like to thanks to Electronic Media for covering this virtual conference 2020. Last but not least, a big thanks you to each one of you who made this virtual conference 2020 memorable for all of us. On behalf of GNI, let me thanks to all the students of GNI. Respected all the delegates and participants, please join online keynote speaker will start at 11:30.
Guru Nanak Institutions is one of the largest educational groups in India with 10,000 plus students from various countries currently enrolled in engineering, management, medical science and pharmacy. Our college has students from different countries. They are students from different geographical and cultural backgrounds such as Afghanistan, Sudan, South Sudan, Nepal, Yemen, etc.
A full-fledged training and placement division with highly dedicated staff and modern students are available in our campus. We are trained from second year onwards in various areas such as aptitude skills, soft skills, technical skills and interview skills. The training and placement division creates immense change in the overall personality of the student so that we are placed in various MNCs. The general manager of our college is Colonel Retired Rajesh Kumar, VSM. He is responsible for taking care of the administration like the girls and boys hostel, transport facilities, etc.
GNI have multiple cafeterias and food courts where quality food are available to the students and staff. There are different types of cuisines available in our canteen.
Is our computer science department. Our CSE department have a pool of well-trained faculty members. We have well-equipped labs with latest hardware and software which gives us the opportunity to learn and practice. Our department conducts various seminars and PowerPoint presentations which keeps us abreast of new developments. GNI provides ultra-modern and well-guarded hostels for boys and girls. We have very good facilities at hostels. Students from various countries and states stay here for 4 years. The hostel environment makes them feel homely.
Our college has an indoor sports arena named Gametron where students can play games such as badminton, chess, carom, table tennis and snooker. There are two ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. We at GNI offer students to empower, enrich, enhance with our innate endeavor.
నమస్కారం, నా పేరు గీతా దాసరి. నేను గురునానక్ కాలేజ్లో బీటెక్ 4వ సంవత్సరం చదువుతున్నాను. గురునానక్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్ 10,000కు పైగా విద్యార్థులకు బీటెక్, ఫార్మసీ, ఎంబీఏ వంటి కోర్సులను విద్యార్థులకు అందిస్తుంది. మా కాలేజ్ NBA మరియు NAC A+ అక్రిడిటేషన్ పొందింది. మా కాలేజ్లో బెస్ట్ ప్లేస్మెంట్ రికార్డ్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. గూగుల్, ఇన్ఫోసిస్, టెక్ మహీంద్రా, IBM వంటి ఎన్నో ఉన్నతమైన కంపెనీస్ మా కాలేజ్ క్యాంపస్ రిక్రూట్మెంట్కి వస్తాయి. గురునానక్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్ నాలాంటి ఆసక్తి కలిగిన విద్యార్థులకు బెస్ట్ చాయిస్. హైదరాబాద్లో ఉన్న విద్యార్థులకు గురునానక్లో జాయిన్ అవ్వడానికి నేను సూచిస్తున్నాను. ధన్యవాదాలు.
My name is Shalini Mishra and I am a Nepali national. I am currently studying in final years in CSE department and I am very proud to say that I got placed in my 4-1 in a very good and esteemed company, that is IBM. I would like to thank the training and placement department of my college and I would also like to thank GNI management for providing me such a good opportunity. Thank you.
Good morning one and all. I invite Dr. J. Rajeshwar, Convener ICICSE 2020, HOD CSC and Professor GNITC to introduce today's keynote speaker.
Good morning ladies and gentlemen to this digital platform of 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science and Engineering hosted by Guru Nanak Institutions, Hyderabad. On behalf of Guru Nanak Institutions, I, Dr. J. Rajeshwar, Professor and Head of the Department of CSE and also Convener of the conference, welcome you all to the keynote session on the trendy topic, Advancements in the Field of Artificial Intelligence. Before I take the privilege of introducing our keynote speaker, I would like to express my gratitude to the management of Guru Nanak Institutions and the entire team of conference for bringing intellectuals together on this digital platform. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Sujala Deepak Shetty, Professor BITS Pilani, Dubai. Dr. Sujala Deepak Shetty has 23 years of experience in teaching. A woman with humble and intellectual personality, she has completed her PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from BITS Pilani, Rajasthan. She has been working with BITS Pilani, Dubai campus since 2002. She worked in various capacity. She worked as a head of the department for CSE. She nurtured number of AI and ML projects with students and research scholars. She has guided number of theses, dissertations, projects undertaken by undergraduates and postgraduates. She is also guiding the PhD students. She has published a number of papers in various reputed journals and international journals. Her research area includes artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, web services, and network security. She possesses overwhelming skills in administrative tasks. A few of them include convener for the Cross Campus Department Academic Committee, campus coordinator of Dubai campus, NAC, convener for the Doctoral Advisory Committee, member of Campus Disciplinary Committee, core committee member of number of conferences held across India. Let us all put our hands together and welcome Dr. Sujala Deepak Shetty to share her views.
So, very good morning to all of you all assembled here. I would like to invite you all for this very prestigious conference, that is the 8th International Conference on Innovations in Computer Science, which is hosted by the Guru Nanak University. So I would like to share my thoughts on a subject which is very dear to me, that is the concept of artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence has made a big impact on maybe our day-to-day life. So in many cases, many of us would be interacting with some form of artificial intelligence, and many times it has become so kind of, it has become pervasive, that is, we hardly realize that it is a system or a computer that we are interacting with and not a human being. So I will just share my slide, my presentation with you all. On this very interesting concept of artificial intelligence. Okay, so we will just cover the different aspects that we have of artificial intelligence and how this has kind of impacted our day-to-day life. So if in case we're looking at this, first, so if in case we're talking about artificial intelligence, the first and foremost thing that we must understand is what is artificial intelligence. So we have to understand that artificial intelligence is now become a very, very broad and an umbrella term. So there are many different components which can fall under this gamut of artificial intelligence. It could be something like machine learning, okay, where you're talking about specific algorithms. It could be a concept like robotics. It could be natural language processing. So it could be data analytics. So these could be all different aspects which could all fall under the very wide gamut of this field of artificial intelligence. So if here you can see that you can have, it could be something like a driverless car. It could be something like, your mobile phone which you are interacting with. It could be a robot. It could be chat bots, voice bots. So the first and foremost thing that we have to understand is what do we classify to be an intelligent system. So as you know, generally, in terms of evolution, we do say that lots of animals also do portray some form of intelligence. We do consider a human being to be very supreme in terms of intelligence. So what was the whole concept that you had of artificial intelligence is to get a system to kind of, artificially emulate or simulate a human being. So it could be in different aspects. So if in the broad sense you have to define artificial intelligence, you can say that artificial intelligence is the field of where we are trying to get computers to do things which at present human beings are better at doing. But here again, we can see that this was a term that was coined many years back. But now we do see that computers are definitely making big strides, and they are moving more and more closer to human-like behavior. It could be in terms of how human beings think, how we see things in terms of vision. It could be how we communicate in terms of language. So we see that computers are slowly catching up. So if in case you're looking at this, AI could be broadly classified as having systems which could think like a human, systems that could act like a human. So where do you think that a system could be thinking like a human? So if in case you see many times where we're looking at games, it could be like a game of chess. So one of the earliest games that we had this system which was called Deep Blue, which was made to play against Garry Kasparov, who was the reigning chess champion at that time. And we could see that Deep Blue was fed with different algorithms, different strategies, and Deep Blue was able to perform at master level chess. In fact, it was even able to beat Garry Kasparov in a game of chess. Later on, quite recently, we've had the computer which could be playing games like Jeopardy. Okay, from that we have what is called the IBM Watson. You can have games like Go, which is again assumed to be much more complex than chess. Again, where it could be computerized and where you could have a system or a person which could be playing against a computer, which could play chess, play Go, and play at a very high level. So you could have systems which could think like human beings. So that is, game applications could be some very commonly used area. Systems that act like humans. So we do know you can have lots of robots which are there. So robots, it could be a robotic arm which is used in surgery. It could be robots which can be used for cleaning, like you have a lot of these mobile robots. You could have robots which could be used in industrial applications. So they are systems which act like human beings. Similarly, you can have an AI system which could think rationally and it could act rationally. So what do we mean by think rationally? So whatever is given a choice of having different things that can be done, the best choice is going to be chosen by the person when you're deciding rationally. Okay, so like lots of times nowadays we have like these recommender systems. So you have applications like say Spotify, you have Netflix. So many of us are watching content online. You will see that there are going to be recommendations that are going to be thrown up. It could be something like your Amazon, you're shopping online, it can give you recommendations saying that people have also purchased this, people have also purchased this. Similarly, you can have systems which act rationally. So this again becomes very important when we're looking at systems like your driverless cars. So you're looking at cars like say Tesla, where they have to drive, and in many times systems are made to decide like how it would be if a human being was driving the car. You are given an option of you have a person coming. If in case you swerve your car, maybe you're going to be hitting against a tree or maybe something else. But if you go straight, maybe you're going to be hitting against a pedestrian. So what do you choose? So these are going to be systems that are going to be acting rationally. So AI will encompass all these different areas. So as I told you, AI is a very broad umbrella term, and under the concept of AI, there are many other things that could be coming over here. So you have this particular concept that we would be saying. So you have machine learning, which could be a concept. So if in case we're looking at machine learning, you can see machine learning is basically going to be using certain algorithms which are going to be programmed, and the system is going to be can be used to either perform a kind of a classification like it happens in this case, where it is classifying an image to be either that of a cat or a dog, or it can be used in applications like clustering and other such applications. So one area of why machine learning could actually become very popular and why it could actually perform very well is because we could have big computations which could be done with very deep neural networks. So you could have, this is just a 3-layer neural network. You could have neural networks where the hidden layer could be multiple neurons. And so in such cases, more complex images, more complex languages, and things like that could be identified. So this is one very major area of the field of artificial intelligence, which is machine learning. Another very important field which has many multiple applications could be something like your natural language processing. So NLPs can be used in many different applications. Okay, you can be talking about interacting with a voice bot, a chat bot, which can understand our language. It can be used for language translations. So you can see, world over, there are so many different languages. You want to translate a script from English to Japanese, or maybe nowadays you're watching something, say on Amazon Prime. You have the concept of having subtitles of the movie which can be given in multiple different languages. So all this may not really happen by a human being. Most of the cases, it might be an NLP system which will actually be doing this process of conversion. So many times, even in Google Translate, you type something in one language, it can be automatically translated into the other. You have transcription. So many times you see that a video is going on, you will see subtitles which are going to be, or whatever the speaker is talking is going to be also typed. Okay, so you can have that. In many cases, you can have meetings which can be going on. You can have an AI system which is going to be transcribing the entire meeting. So your entire spoken language is going to be converted into a textual form and it can be stored. So you can have lots of different applications when we are looking at these NLP systems, natural language processing. Another very important application can be in field of robotics. So robotics we see is very, very widely used in lots of industrial applications. It could be applications like maybe automobile manufacture. It could be in things where, you know, where say maybe error factor must be very, very minimal. Like if in case you're looking at say big pharmaceutical companies where there is going to be, like, you know, say some vaccine which is going to be manufactured, and where hygiene becomes something that is very important, where the factor for having any form of an error or margin for error is very small. In such cases we see a lot of automation. So you will have a machine which will be doing all this process. So this is something that we have which is in the field of robotics. Another important thing that you can have is in case of object detection, object recognition. So many times nowadays we see when you go to the airport, maybe everything is going to be done in an automated way. Okay, maybe a scan of your face is taken, it is going to be matched with the database. Similarly, if you're looking at the radars which are available on the road, they can be capturing a car. Immediately the information is going to be relayed. They're able to obtain information about your driving license, about any other previous fines, such kind of things. So object detection is something that is going to be, and many of our say social media apps also. So you're looking at Facebook, it is able to detect a face. It can tag this person with other people. So many different applications which can be available in this particular field. Another thing that we see is speech recognition. So like we've said, nowadays many of us can be very, very dependent upon these voice apps. So you can say, Alexa, kindly tell me what is the weather like today. So in such cases, this would be something which is going to be called your speech recognition. So you have systems which can understand human voice, and they can convert those into commands and actually perform those given tasks. Okay, so you can check, you can say, Alexa, open my mail. So in this case, maybe that voice assistant is going to be performing the task that is instructed. Okay, so you can have systems which can be as complex as this. So these are going to be different areas that we see. So if in case you're looking at, you know, the more new advancements in the field of artificial intelligence, something that we have is going to be like, you know, things which where human beings, or where you say artistic ability is more important. Like if in case you're looking at the field like say paintings, or you're looking at fields where music has to be generated, these are going to be things which become more artistic. But if in case we look at this, we can see, suppose it is going to be something like say art. Okay, it can be one person. Maybe this particular person is comfortable in one form of art. Okay, maybe it could be oil paintings, it could be canvas, or it could be in modern art or something like that. But his painting is going to be restricted to his experiences and his domain of knowledge. But if in case you're looking at a computer can be fed with this information from multiple different artists, okay, different painters. So when a computer is going to be doing this task, it is going to be able to perform the task of not just one painter, but of multiple painters. We can understand the width is so much more. The same thing happens even if in case you're looking at something that is more creative, like say writing a poetry or writing a story. Okay, because again, if in case it is a story that is going to be written, it is going to be from one particular writer's perspective. Okay, and many times this would depend upon his previous experiences. But in many cases, but if in case you have a computer, you could be feeding in, say, 100 such writers' inputs. So the information that is going to be coming out can be something that is very rich. So this is something that people have thought would be a good area to explore. So that is why you have, right now, you could see artificial intelligence is even making inroads into such say more of, you know, these artistic domains where it was more of human creativity. But now we say we have more advanced neural networks. One of them is called your GAN, which is your generative adversarial network. What the GAN is capable of doing is, it is it's an adversarial network. So it is going to be a generator and a discriminator. Okay, so two such networks which kind of play against each other, and they generate a form of art. Okay, so you can have this which could be used in art. It could be used So if in case we're looking at this, you can have advancements in artificial intelligence, which could be in the form of generating music. Like I told you, it could be generating music, it could be generating lyrics for movies, for stories, poetry, right? And in addition to this, it can be generating images. So if you see, this is a computer generated image, not of a real person, but maybe it's just generating some images. Similarly, you can have something when you're talking about this kind of, in the fashion industry, when we're talking about having your networks, which can be generating this form of art that you have. Okay, so you can have different models which are generated, who are going to be shown with different clothes. You can change these clothes to give different effects. So these are some of the other areas that you have. Now in the field of artificial intelligence in science. So science again becomes a very, very important area, because now mainly because you have so much of data that is available. So if in case we're looking at human genomic data, okay, this can be running into terabytes of information. So generally it becomes very difficult for a human being to do anything with this data. But for a computer to actually look for patterns, to do any kind of operation on this becomes much, much more easier. So if you're looking at astronomical details, you're looking at nowadays a lot of imaging. It could be in terms of your MRI images, CT images. So a lot of machine learning is actually going on in this field, because again it becomes something like suppose you're talking about a skill of a doctor. It is restricted to that doctor. So if you're talking about say a remote city or a remote place, they may not have access to the same kind of services. But if in case it is a software which can be done, which can do this, the software can be replicated and stored and made available in multiple such hospitals. So if in case you're looking at, say, reading some certain MRI images, if in case you don't have a doctor in a particular city, then you're saying that a patient may be deprived of that level of skill. But if in case you're able to transfer this skill into a system, then maybe in some other remote location also this can be accessed. So similarly, you can see in cases like retinal diseases which can be detected, again, artificial intelligence is found a place. Another very important area is in gaming. So I think all of you all will be aware, gaming is a very, very lucrative industry. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is much higher than what we have, say, revenue generated from films, generated from music. Okay, so gaming is a very, very powerful industry. So here, this again, and we've seen that this was a traditional area where AI initially started. Like we discussed right in the beginning, say in a field like Deep Blue, a system which was generated. So you're talking about playing chess against a computer. So that is what happens in games. Nowadays, we have multiplayer games, you have multiple people playing. But in all these cases, you can have people who could be playing against a computer. So these become very challenging tasks. And nowadays you have lots of software animation tools which is available, tools like Unity, which will allow you to generate very realistic images. Similarly, you can have these games which can, say, the complexity of these games can keep changing depending upon the level at which a player plays. So if a player is playing well, the level could suitably adjust to the requirements of the player. So AI is widely and prevalent in the gaming industry. Similarly, like we've discussed, music is also some other thing that you have. So music, what is it? It is going to be, you're composing music. You need music of a particular genre. You should know what kind of instrument would blend with another instrument. So these are certain things where now there is a lot of research that is done, and people are seeing whether systems could be generating music. So this is something that is happening, and they are making good progress in this area also. Fine. So these are going to be different areas that you could have. Similarly, it could be in certain fields that you have, say, like videos and images, like we've discussed. Okay, like if in case you're talking about surveillance cameras, for a human being to keep surveying or to keep looking at, say, in an airport, if you're surveying all the incoming passengers, this becomes a very, very monotonous task. Okay, and can be totally dependent on human beings, can be prone to errors. So in such cases, if in case you say that you have a computer which could be doing this, a computer which could be trained to identify kind of suspicious behavior, okay, some kind of unusual activity, you can have a computer which can be searching for such patterns. Similarly, nowadays something that is happening is you have a lot of these kind of people with bad intentions, maybe kind of hackers or people who are exploiting social media. So nowadays, a lot of this fake news, deep fakes, where you have people who are talking, and you might actually be generating the text in that language of the person, and you could even be creating videos such that it looks like this particular person is conveying some information. So these are certain maybe the negative aspects of AI. Okay, but there has to be a check that is done over here. So you can have lots of times where people, videos are generated where a person is saying something, but in reality, it may not be him. Okay, so you can have such kind of malicious intent that is also happening. So you can have videos, you can have these kind of videos also where you're talking about, you want to see the transition of a person through the years. You're talking about generating 3D models from 2D models. A 2D photograph, you're generating a 3D model. So these are going to be different areas where you're looking at how AI could be used. Multiple other applications of AI. You have what is going to be called augmented reality. You have something which is called virtual reality. So augmented reality it gives you a feeling of being immersed in that environment. So you are also part of the environment. So if you look at this, maybe you are interacting with a dinosaur. Okay, so this would require certain hardware, certain software tools, such that this entire environment is created for a user. You have virtual reality, like maybe something like your Google glasses, or you're wearing some kind of glasses, and this will give you the feel of actually being there. So maybe it's a mountain. Okay, it might give you the feeling of being in that particular environment. Or maybe suppose you're talking about training for pilots. So right in the beginning, it is going to be a simulated environment. So this can simulate an environment of actually being in the cockpit. Okay, so this is something that you have. You can have other applications. Very popular now is a lot of these driverless cars. Like you have Tesla, you have Google, all these companies which are working with driverless cars. You have fake news detection, like we just discussed. This has become a major area of concern, because in a lot of cases, kind of communal tension has been developed because of this fake news. So it becomes very important. So a lot of these social media platforms do have such kind of they keep filtering to identify any form of fake news that can be available. So the next thing that we will just move on is, so we know that AI has these multiple different applications. We will see finally what will happen is it has to be integrated with what people have to do. And in today's world, it is going to be everything about making money. So you will have to look at this, which can be integrated with daily applications. It can be used by people. It is beneficial for people. It is going to be money generating for them in the long run. So we see AI applications have been used in many different areas. One of the very commonly used areas is in the field of decision making. So decision making, we know now that data is available in multiple different forms. So you can be talking about reports, you could be talking about, say, your warehouse, your stock details, your supply chain information, okay, customer demands, or the reviews of customers. So all these different things are going to be data. So if in case you can analyze all this information and use this analysis to help you in decision making, it becomes a very powerful tool. Because nowadays they say that data is very powerful. They say data is now, initially it used to be data is the oil. So it is used to be considered as valuable as oil. Okay, so that is what you have, that much of power that is available in the data. Similarly, if you're looking at supply chain, now we know if you're looking at applications, say Amazon or maybe Flipkart. So we know that they have to service so many different markets in the world. They have so many different products. They have so many different suppliers and customers. So mapping all this becomes very difficult, and they have to have a very tight supply chain. So things have to be available, but it is not that they will have to stock it and keep it for years together, because many items could be perishable. You could have things which could spoil, things which may not, which will have a limited shelf life. So in such cases, it becomes very difficult and very important to have a good streamlined supply chain. So this is something that can be very effectively taken care of by AI applications. Another thing that we have is AI in mobiles. So we do know mobile applications also, many times you can have lots of sensors which are available. Okay, you can have a lot of these applications which can give you recommendations. You can have these voice bots which are integrated in your phone. So lots of ways in which your small little phone, which is a computer, almost a computer, you can have GPS, it can be giving you the shortest path, you can have recommender systems. So all these can be built into your mobile phone. The next thing that we're talking about, customer relations. So we know that it could be a bank, it could be an airline. So many times you use a credit card, something wrong happens, you're panicky. You need somebody to talk to. Right? So in many cases nowadays, what's happened is you have a voice bot who's sitting on the other end. So interaction can be seamless, or say 90% of the job is done by the voice bot, and then depending upon your specific requirement, it might transfer you to that specific customer service agent who will be able to cater to your needs. Right? So customer relations for many different applications become something that is very crucial. And since we're talking about globalization, people could be at any corner of the world, but they might need to interact with a particular application. Suppose it's a Citibank application. You can have people from anywhere in the world, so the time zones would be different. So in such cases, it is always going to be beneficial to have a chat bot or a voice bot with which you can interact with. Another important application is recruitment. So we know, say maybe popular companies like say Microsoft or Amazon, so they could be getting applications in the thousands. In many cases, it may not really be possible for human beings to actually scrutinize these applications. So in many cases, what happens is there is going to be a complete software, like we've seen. You can have kind of image detection. It can identify keywords. It can map those keywords. It can rank the application based on the requirements of what the company needs. And all this can be done totally by AI systems. And this is not something that is not used. It is very much used by many companies today. The last application that we're talking about is cybersecurity. So all of us know that now, security is always an area of concern, but now more than ever, because many people have now transferred to the digital medium of interacting with people, of performing transactions, of banking, shopping, and everything. So we know that cybersecurity is something that is always something that is very, very sensitive, something of very high value, and something that has to be taken very seriously. So you have a lot of these AI tools which are available, which can constantly keep streaming or screening different kinds of requests. So they will be looking at what kind of a HTTP request is coming. Okay, is it from a kind of a known malicious source? There might be a certain pattern in the request that is coming. So these could be different things that you are looking at. So this could be in the form of cybersecurity. So I think we have covered the wide gamut of applications that AI systems in today's world have, and how they have become more and more kind of interactive with human beings. Okay, but still there are certain things that we have to remember. So in order for us to be prepared to face the future, one thing that we have to remember is artificial intelligence is something that is here to stay. It has made many changes in the way in which people could be interacting. So many of us will have to get used to the concept that maybe an AI system in some way is going to be like a co-worker. Okay, there are going to be certain tools that are going to be used. Human beings would now have to look at upskilling themselves and looking less at doing the same kind of mundane and repetitive tasks which could be automated soon. So we should look for avenues which would require more of a human skill and things which may not actually replace us. Okay, this becomes something that is going to be very important. And another very important thing that we have to look at is ethical AI. So many times we see that you're giving too much of power to these computers. So in many cases it becomes important to actually look for what is ethical. So many times we see you're looking at data analysis also, how much of data is going to be okay, at where do you draw the line, where does it become intrusion into somebody's privacy. Okay, similarly, you have to know what is going to be right, what is wrong. So these are going to be certain things that people who are making these AI systems should always keep in mind. So these are some of the things that I have covered broadly. I know it is many different areas, many different topics, but hopefully you have learned something in the process. You have found this talk interesting. If in case you have any queries, please do feel free to write back to me. I would be more than happy to help you. And so it was very nice giving you all this talk. Wish you all the best and stay safe.
Thank you very much, madam, for accepting as a keynote speaker for this wonderful conference and also enlightening our audience on this digital platform. Finally, we are very grateful for your valuable information. On behalf of Guru Nanak Institutions, I finally thank you, madam.